I think about it, I told my assistant to start a page called on Twitter, and we stopped running that page too. So I'm
But the
at my
books aren't
page.
yours. The books aren't yours
The books
in the
aren't
link
yours
though.
though.
Oh, the book, yeah. So that can't be me then.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
The
the
books
That
are
books aren't
can't
not
be
yours.
me.
yours. There's something. It's in the UK.
Right,
Mm.
right. So I probably put up those same videos on the Twitter. My assistant probably put them up, and when she stopped, I guess that's when he stopped. So
Mhm.
he couldn't finesse it no more.
Right.
Mm.
So that must be what it is. Yeah, it's
Now,
all
once
good.
in a while, because I don't follow him, once in a while he'll go into um anybody that's associated, at least he deems is associated with Tariq, and says like a lot of hateful stuff about FBAs, but under that page.
Mm, mm. Yeah, and that's why I just want the family to know if you come across this video, that is not me, because
That is
that's
not
what I
him.
guess that's what he's trying to use my influence
Mhm.
and try to
So
put a little divide. But we expect this from tellers at this point. It's
exactly.
I guess that's a good thing. On this, that'll be a time to get nervous. That mean they really up to something. But this same
Exactly.
old
No,
strategy,
he's just
same old
hustling.
thing. Yeah,
He
same
hustling.
same
He's
old
trying to
thing.
sell his own stuff. He's using you to sell his stuff.
It's all good. Just the knowledge where you got it from.
Right.
That's it.
Mm.
That's what we always say. I seen buddy out the UK. What's his name? Like Central C.
Or
Oh yeah,
Aiden. Or
Hey, you
yeah.
think
Aiden.
he's
I
like
thought
a
it's
rapper or something
No,
like that?
you talk about Central C. Started the Nike Techs, right?
Yeah,
oh
man.
Yeah.
God.
I was just like, these
Not the
tellers,
white
they're
boy.
out of control, bro. They're out of control, man. We started American owned. He put us on an American owned company. Okay.
Uh,
Okay, man. Nike Tech, man. I had Nike Techs in middle school, man. We had Nike sweatsuits in middle school. I was in middle school
You
15,
know?
20 years ago down there.
let me get your take on some current events, man. The hottest
Yeah.
topic right now is Kendrick Lamar's performance at the Super Bowl. Did you get a chance to check it out? What are your
Absolutely.
thoughts?
Absolutely, man. I loved it. I loved the beautiful performance. I like that it was
Thought provoking.
thought provoking, but also it wasn't mainstream. It was for his hardcore fans. You know what I'm saying? It
Mhm.
wasn't. I'm sure he could have went on there and played all the music that kind of that got the radio play, as we say, and was big and pushed that. And he played a couple songs, but
Mhm.
he came out the gate with real hardcore music for his hardcore fans, man. Real pro black. Samuel Jackson, the cameo that he gave, just the thought provoking. I knew that was gonna trigger them. That's why I loved it
Right.
too,
Mm-hmm.
because I knew
Yes.
that was gonna trigger them. I'm big on too. They try so hard to get us emotional. I love when they get emotional.
Right.
And that's what Kendra did. Get them emotional, get them in their feelings, get them crying and complaining all day. Because that's what they do. They have a big thing of getting us triggered about every little thing. I always say, for the people who said it was a bad performance, I believe some of them people had that tweet schedule.
I do too.
See, they had that tweet
That's a
schedule on
fact.
I do
Friday.
too.
As soon as it's over, I'm clicking send. They had it already typed out and scheduled. It no matter what Kendrick had did or anything
Right.
like that. They had that schedule, because you got to know how Kendrick coming at the end of the day. You got to know he gonna play. They not like us, and why
Right.
wouldn't you? So yeah, man, I thought it was a though. Shout out to Kendrick, man.
Yeah.
I loved it.
So,
I
I still
loved
haven't
it. And
watched it
now,
back because I know there's probably some stuff I missed. So
right, for sure. I had to look at it back. And even now, I sent Sincere something the other day where these people were on a Super Bowl cruise. My aunt actually went on a Super Bowl
oh,
cruise
that
this
was
past Super
crazy.
Bowl. But
mm,
someone showed video inside the cruise where they were playing, the Super Bowl, and turned the camera around, and it's massive, masses of people like popping and enjoying it. Like, yeah, like
oh
I
yeah,
can't imagine
oh
it
yeah,
not being like that at the Super Bowl.
That was
Like that
crazy.
right,
didn't make
right.
sense. Yeah.
Well, too, because I've seen some little videos from the crowd, and I don't really expect that type of crowd. The average Super Bowl ticket was $5,600, so ain't no, that's kind of like rich white folk. That's in the area of rich white
Hmm.
folk. Not saying that black folks don't have money. You ain't gonna pay 15 for 15 minutes, $5,000 for 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's kind of really not the crowd. So a lot of people, I just think inside the stadium, the videos that I saw some people vibing, but I also saw a lot of white folks, older white people sitting down. I would expect that from them.
Right.
I would expect them to say they don't know what they're talking about.
They
Right.
don't.
I expect that. That's not a diss, at that point. That music's not for you. You can't keep up with that type of music,
Right.
So it is what it
Exactly.
is. But like you say, every little video that I saw, reaction to it, videos that I saw people like at live hotels and event parties, they were going crazy.
Crazy.
They were going crazy. From the moment it came on to especially, I think my favorite one was Peekaboo.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
I like
image on
that
Peekaboo.
choreography on Peekaboo was sick.
Yeah, when
And
he
that's
popped
another
up.
thing. That's another thing about it too. It was really made for TV. Like the performance
Right.
itself is made for the camera. So if you're there, you're not seeing everything that we're seeing watching it on
Right.
TV. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right, man. I respect it. I thought it was a great performance, and just his breath control as far
Ridiculous.
as, because I heard, I heard he was spitting unreleased stuff. Like, this is
Yeah.
stuff that, you coming off the top like a little bit, on the information and with the raps and stuff. I'm like, dang, and then you going from one thing to another, you're dancing at the same time.
Right.
I feel like it was different from singing, and he kind of only had one guest. What's her
Yeah.
name?
Scissor.
Right. So it wasn't like he was getting a break, and he was still performing
Mm-hmm.
during her song and stuff like that. So like I was like, dang, okay. I definitely gotta salute it. And I love, like I said, love the Samuel Jackson part. I love the
I
Serena
did
Crip
too.
walking. I
Yeah.
loved all of it, man. I loved
I
all of
did
it.
too. It was amazing. And I just love that to me, he gave it up to foundational Black Americans. He gave it up
Absolutely.
to our, what I'm saying, history here, in America. He could
Yeah.
have easily, because remember in 2016 when he did the Grammys there, in the
Mm-hmm.
background, it had the African flag and in the middle it said Compton. I don't know if you
Yeah, I
Mm.
guys
remember that.
remember that
Yeah, I
at the
remember
end
that.
of
Yeah,
his
I didn't
show.
remember that one.
Yeah, in 2016. So he gave it up to Africa then, but now he's bringing it back home
Bringing it back
to me.
home.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing
So
wrong
I
with that.
appreciated that part.
For sure, for sure. And I loved, I want to say this is maybe the only Super Bowl halftime performance that had any symbolism, like that you had to
Mm-hmm.
watch
To
back
this
for.
level, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just trying to think, like, who really had something that was like deep. Ain't nobody really had nothing in
Yeah,
Super Bowl. Everybody's just been performing.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
And
Right.
I'm, I'm
honestly,
This
I'm
trying to
this
think.
was
glad.
theater. This was theater.
It
Right.
We
was.
turned the stadium into a theater.
That's
Mm-hmm.
it. That's the
Mm-hmm.
word.
Yeah, cause I was trying to see what the A on his chain meant, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like
A
that. I'm like,
minor.
yeah, yeah, man. So I said, oh man, the YouTube creators, they gonna eat for a minute off this
Oh,
one.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
I
They
love
gonna
Oh
it.
yeah.
listen. You gotta love it, man. Man, Kendrick out here feeding the YouTube streets out here, man. So yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. I hope y'all gotta make y'all money off this now. Y'all
Yes,
gotta
sir.
break this down.
I did my best. We're gonna talk about it some more too because everybody's still talking about it. It's still a hot topic. I'm still
Sure.
learning, all of the stuff that I missed. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
And
yeah.
so, like the aftermath of the performance is unprecedented. Like
Yeah.
usually, you know what I'm saying, you talk about it for the next day, it's the water cooler conversation. Oh, you saw the halftime performance last night?
Yeah, yeah, for
And then
sure.
after that, it kind of just dies down. It
Right.
seems like it's growing. Just like
Mm-hmm.
when the battle was going on, when Not Like Us first dropped, like the craze
Right.
started growing more and more and more. And now it's
Right.
happening again, almost a year
Right.
later. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I
Because
think people are going to be dressing up as these characters for Halloween and all of that. Like
Oh
the Samuel
yeah.
Jackson character, the
right,
dancers, like those are going to be
right.
Halloween costumes. It's
Absolutely.
iconic.
Right. And I love that, man. That's why I love the Samuel, because he was almost giving the white talking points
Right.
live during the performance.
Yes.
Right.
He was, and I think that's what really triggered them. They wanted to be able to say that, and it's kind of like I'm making fun of you for even saying that before you can
Mm-hmm.
even get it out, So
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was real dope with Kendrick. Even I didn't even catch the Squid Game.
My son
Right.
told me that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the Squid Game type of layout, and I'm like, oh, Kendrick hard, man. Kendrick
Man,
hard,
he
for
put thought
doing
in
that.
that.
So I think that's why people still talking about it, because it's so much stuff to unpack in
I
that whole
saw
performance.
I saw a clip with the person that designed the wardrobe,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and they were talking about how detailed Kendrick and his team were about everything, like even down to the shade of the colors. He like, I had to go through so many different dye types to get the
Damn.
white right. They didn't want to just have any old white. It had to be a
White.
Right.
specific type of white.
Ooh, okay.
The red had to be a specific type of red. It was
Right,
like
right, right.
every little stitch, every little detail was thought out by him and his team. He was
Right.
like, yo, this made me a better designer. Going through this
Yeah.
process made me become a better designer. I'm like,
Yeah,
yo,
man.
just the thought process behind it, man. You
Absolutely,
can't
absolutely.
front
So
on it.
yeah, I think a lot of them people who on Twitter, like I said, I believe they had them tweets scheduled. I believe that was already
I do
scheduled
too.
Saturday. As soon as he get off stage, just click send because I want to be the first one to put out this negativity to gain some likes. So it is what it
Exactly.
is. But again, it broke a Super Bowl record. So I mean, the man lie, women lie, the numbers don't lie. So 133
Facts.
million. It is what it is. And man, shout out to Kendrick, man. Shout out to Kendrick. I thought that was a
West
dope
up.
performance.
Y'all know I'm a Cali girl. West up.
Ah, yeah, come on with
Y'all know
Cali.
I'm a Cali girl. So yeah, it was
Absolutely.
amazing. I just loved it. I just can't say no more other than I loved it.
Right, right, right. How did y'all feel about the Serena Crip walking? Did y'all feel like some
That
people
was
said that was too
amazing.
much as
I
far as like she
didn't.
got a husband or I liked it. I
I
liked it.
I
liked it.
liked it. She's from Compton. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, because I feel like people are trying to attach her to Drake. She's from Compton. It
She's from
makes
absolutely.
sense that she was there, for her Compton brother, but also
Hmm.
it also is a dig at him because he said some
It is.
negative things about her.
It all
You know
has
what I'm
double
saying?
meanings.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And I remember when she did it at the Olympics. That's
Right.
why I was like, oh damn,
Right.
she was feeling it, and they got mad
All
at her for doing it.
They
Wimbledon or
got
whatever
mad at
it
her at
was.
Wimbledon.
Right. So I thought that went with the whole Uncle Sam
Hmm.
theme of
Exactly.
ghetto, like, cause they got mad at her
Good
for doing
point.
it at the Olympics. Like, now I'm gonna do it on the
Exactly.
biggest stage. Since you got mad about that, I'm gonna do it on the biggest stage now. So I was like, okay, that's hard.
Good point. That's a
That's
good
hard. You
take.
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Good take right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do
man.
you? What I want to say. Oh, what do you think about Trump saying America was built by Black Americans and not by immigrants?
Oh man, it's a true statement. Like I
Yes,
say, I'm not on no. I didn't vote for Donald Trump or nothing like
me
that.
neither.
The man
Me
said a
neither.
true statement. You gotta, you gotta give it up. It's
Respect
the
truth.
same thing. You know what I'm saying? It definitely America, the United States of America, was definitely built off the backs of foundational Black Americans. And I would love to go into that deeper if I had the time. You know what I'm saying? But from the time the first 1526, the first enslaved Black people came here and tried to set up colonies in Georgia to this present day, we still building America.
Mm,
Even with the hip hop, we just saw
right.
what is
The
seen as an
culture.
American art form was created by foundational Black Americans. And we didn't even get into the country, the jazz, the blues, the R&B, the rock and roll. I mean,
Country.
come on now. We are Black American. I mean, we are
Right.
American in
We
general.
are the most patriotic as well. There's
Absolutely.
no one more patriotic than foundational Black Americans, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And I'll say this, and I said this the other day, so people got mad. I think when it's all said and done, and I'll hopefully during my lifetime, I prove this through my books. I don't think there's ever been a more influential culture than foundational Black American culture in history.
Facts.
On the planet.
I
Facts.
think I
Facts.
think the only people who can maybe rival us is the ancient Egyptians. Maybe. And the reason I say maybe because they didn't go through what we went through. They had 2,000 years of uninterrupted, just they could sit outside under the stars. We've been in the belly of the beast,
The whole time.
creating nonstop,
Still in it.
still
I
in it,
agree with you.
Still in it.
fighting our battles, then going and fighting somebody. We've been getting jumped from all angles
Hmm.
and still been
Hmm.
knocking folks out. Like,
Right.
they still give up. They've been quitting, you know what I'm saying, in the fight. So I don't think there's any other group of people ever on this earth, ancient times, modern times, that could rival us when it comes to culture. And the crazy thing is, it ain't just music.
No.
It's
Right.
thousands
It's
of inventions.
fashion.
Yeah,
It's
fashion,
inventions. It's
just your civil rights. There was no civil rights movement until we created it. Like, it wasn't
right.
nobody talking about no civil right. What the hell was civil rights? Foundational Black, we pioneered that. Little stuff. I'm talking about little stuff like family reunions. People don't even think about that.
Right.
That was created by foundational Black
Cookouts.
Americans. Yeah, cookouts when we got out of slavery. you know, it was brothers on the plantation saying, "Hey man, cousin Bailey got sold over there. We got to reunite the family. Gotta have this family reunion." You know, it was foundational Black American freedmen who created these schools that gave birth to free public education. Nobody had free public education. You know, this is us, but it just gets dropped off as American culture.
Right.
Now
Of
it's just
course.
American culture. So,
Right.
you know, like I say, man,
That's why I had an
super.
issue with that tether jumping on stage, who was supposed to be part of the dancers at
Yeah.
Kendrick's performance. We, with his Gaza, Sudan flag. It's like, God bless y'all, and praying for y'all over there, but don't take our moment. Like, it's a lot of that
Absolutely.
happens a lot, when it comes to our showcases, something like this happen. Our holidays. Now we got to
Hmm.
share June with the LGBT community. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
they're always doing these little
Yeah.
interferences. So I took offense to that.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I
I
get it.
definitely did too. You know, that was something that's like, again, like you say, your heart go out to them, but that's not the right time. You know what I'm saying? I'd
Mhm.
rather you do that when damn the Maroon 5 up there or something. You know what I'm saying?
You
So
know what I'm saying?
why you waiting till Kendrick get up there and then
DJ
you
Khaled.
right?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and from my understanding, he was a local.
Right.
You know, Kendrick
I,
went
I,
out his way to hire black people locally and
right.
stuff. And it's like, you gonna do that? Come on, G.
And the
Come
Yeah.
on.
backlash that he got from white people because he did not have any other nationality dancers. It was all black dancers. There was white people on Twitter's like, he didn't have any white people, Asian people, or Hispanic people. Like, they were pinpointing everything,
Not not not
because
not white
everything was
people
black.
wanted DEI. Not white
Right.
people
Yeah, they wanted
DEI. Ain't
DEI.
that funny? Come on, man.
They
Come
wanted
on, white
DEI.
people. That's why I say, bro, we just gotta stay focused. These folks, they're all over the place. They're so
All over the
desperate that they
place.
don't know what they want. You know,
Right.
now they want DEI. So it is. A
Yeah.
couple weeks ago, it was DEI must die. So it is what it is, man. It's just funny. You know, they keep me laughing.
Yeah, yeah, that was it. It was, but the fact that I was looking myself. I'm not gonna lie. I was in my TV like, is there gonna be an other? You know what I'm saying? And I
Mm,
I picked up on it instantly, and I was like, yes, this is the
yes,
blackest freaking Super Bowl that we've ever had. I appreciated that.
right. And a lot of a lot of like dark skin, like black. It was some
Yes,
black people up there. It wasn't like he
crunchy
was,
black.
and shout out to the light skinned people. We love our light skinned brothers and sisters
Right.
as well. But just saying, just in general, it
It
was like
wasn't
mainly,
ambiguous.
yeah, mainly dark skinned people, like very, very dark completely. So, that was dope, man.
And
I was
all of
even
that and all of that is thought out. None of that is haphazard. Like every
exactly,
single thing is
exactly.
thought out. Like the details
Right.
matter.
Right,
And the
right,
women did not
absolutely,
look like
man.
hoochies.
I saw somebody talking about the red dye that was in the women's head, like that was
Hmm.
symbolic or something. I didn't know
Right.
what that meant, so
I
I
don't
got to
know what
look
it
that up.
means, but it means something.
Right, right. If you say he was that detailed, it definitely meant something. The
Yeah.
fact that all of them
Right.
had the red stripe in their head, for sure.
And all the girls were covered up.
Covered up, man. Come on
Everybody
now,
covered up. You know.
covered up. Right, just giving you good skill, good dance,
Hmm.
everything else, man. That's it. That was dope, man. Yeah, so shout out to K Dot on that, man. That was a dope performance. I thought that was one of the best I've seen. I would put it. Let me see.
Top five.
Yeah, I put it top three. I'm
Really?
trying to
Michael
think.
Jackson.
Yeah, that's why I say Michael Jackson. I'm trying to think because he's the
Michael
only
Jackson was first.
one
Yeah.
that had any symbolism.
Right.
He's the only one who made
One.
you
Yeah.
rewatch it.
Think.
Like this is one of the ones, some books you have to reread again, and every time you reread, be like, whoa. But it was ahead of his time. Like nobody
Right.
Right.
ever did that. People who rewatch the Super Bowl performance, they rewatching it to hear their favorite song. It's not, or they rewatching it for controversy. Like last year with Usher behind Alicia Keys, and people like, oh
Right.
man, why you do it like X, Y, Z? Or when I remember watching Justin Timberlake expose Janet Jackson breasts. I
Justin.
remember seeing that on
Right.
live TV as a kid. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a viral moment. But
Right.
his
Right.
is deep in educational. You know what I'm saying? And then he also had the viral moments to say Drake. That look that he had on his face was definitely funny. That was definitely iconic. You know what I'm saying? But also has some deeper meaning.
Right.
Yeah, that face was. I say Kendrick. I could see Kendrick acting, man.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
Oh,
for
remember he
sure.
did on Power. He did a
Yeah,
cameo on Power
Oh, he
where he
did.
played a
he
drug
played a
addict,
good
and
role on
that
there. Yeah,
Okay.
performance was epic.
yeah.
Which one was that? Which power was that? Was it like
Shoot,
the
probably.
I
regular
think it
one?
was. I think it was the original one because I didn't watch the other ones. I think it was the original
Okay.
Power,
Wait,
but it might
so
have been like one of the later seasons.
yeah, one of the
Okay.
later
I didn't
seasons.
see. I
But
didn't catch that. Okay.
Yeah, he
oh
played a crackhead
yes,
on there. It was dope.
Yeah.
epic
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. Kendrick. Yeah, I could tell Kendrick like that. You know what I'm saying? Even the way he
Yeah.
be changing his voice, dialect, his tones. I'm
Hmm.
like Kendrick definitely can get into that for sure. That's hard, man. Shout out. Yeah, like I say, shout out to Kendrick, man. It's a great performance.
Let me switch gears a little bit before we start to wind things down. I want to throw a couple of phrases at you and just let you cook.
Mm-hmm.
Um, military science.
Mm. Military science. I believe that's very key. That's very key to the liberation and the sustainability of Black people and what we built, especially foundational Black Americans. And I'm thinking military science. I'm thinking three things. Number one, the art of defense. As far as I'm in Georgia, Georgia's a gun state. I really push for a lot of Black people to move to gun states, and get three types of guns. You need a handgun, you need a rifle, and you need a shotgun. Nothing what I'm saying is radical either. This is just from the art of self-defense. We
Hmm.
have no police protection. We have no standing army who's going to fight and die for us. We have to fight and die for ourselves. So, you need that handgun, preferably something that shoots 9 millimeters. You need that rifle, something that shoots 223, 5.56 caliber bullets. And you need that shotgun, something that shoots, the slugs or the buckshots. That's essential in a Black household, and that's what our ancestors believed in. The Honorable
Hmm.
Ida B. Wells used to say that Winchester rifle deserved a place of honor in every Black
Yeah.
household. Frederick Douglass used to say another foundational Black